up the strength and the courage to make her way downstairs to the second floor of her friend's apartment. The neighbor called 911.
Diamond had been shot multiple times, including in the head and the face. Essentially, her nose had been shot off.
Early 20s, gunshot victim, been shot in the face.
For those at the scene tending to Diamond's injuries, it seems a miracle she's even alive.
Is she responsive?
Unresponsive.
Let's get her out to the truck and we'll work on her in there.
Through my career, I've never seen anybody get shot in the head twice, get up, walk down the stairs to a friend's house. I've never seen it done.
Now it's a race against the clock to save Diamond's life.
Let's get her out of here.
Diamond was taken to Diva Hospital where they took her straight into surgery.
As word spreads of the attack, concerned family members and neighbors clamor outside the apartment, hoping for an update on Diamond's mother, 59-year-old Elzina Brown.
I said, what's going on? Is my mother okay?
Mother is in there. I still don't know mother's okay.
Inside Elzina's apartment, though, the situation is dire.
Elzina Brown had been shot in the chest and was pronounced dead at the scene.
I just fall to the ground. I just start screaming, crying.
While friends and family grieve, New York City police set about processing the scene of this tragic double shooting.
We handled the active shooter situation. We found 2 victims, one on the 2nd floor, off the neighbor's door, just covered in blood. The neighbor seen her, said that she had found a member up on the 3rd floor, found a 2nd victim up on the 3rd floor. The EMS crews have already taken them out.
The first thing, obviously, you want to establish is if there are any witnesses, if anybody seen anything or even heard anything.
Unfortunately, the only witness to the crime was Diamond, who had been rushed off to the hospital with life-threatening injuries.
As for a possible motive, detectives know that in an urban environment like the South Bronx, conditions are often ripe for any manner of violent activity.
Based on my neighborhood, my community is very violent, yes indeed, in the Bronx. And anything can happen any moment.
Usually with police work, you find a female victim inside a home that's hurt. Right out the gates, it's thought to be domestic. But in this particular case, being that there were 2 victims inside the apartment, that there's a strong possibility that it could have been a robbery.
But as investigators scour the scene, there's just one problem with that theory.
There were no signs of forced entry, burglary, things would be disarray. No, there was nothing like that.
With everything apparently normal in the house, police had to consider the possibility of a targeted killing.
You think of all possibilities, what could happen. If any one of them had a recent confrontation, they have an enemy, somebody who was upset with them.
Doesn't look like a burglary to me. Looks like a target killing. What do you think?
Well, do you want to go downstairs and talk to the family?
Interviews with family indicate the possibility that the beloved but strong-headed Elzina Brown may have had some unlikely enemies in the area surrounding the Monroe housing complex.
There were folks who actually made it very clear that they didn't want to tolerate or even be part of her praying, her joy, her peacemaking, Elzina being able to even go up to drug dealers and say, hey, we have to stop this.
If a pillar of the community like Elzina starts taking action against the drug trade, she's bound to run into trouble.
Due to Elzina's job, there's also the possibility that her visibility in the neighborhood put her in increased danger.
On the corner multiple times, Elzina would request a unit to be present because a few vehicles try to knock her down. So yes, I can honestly say everybody in the community didn't love my sister.
As detectives wade through a long list of potential suspects, they uncover information that suggests Elzina Brown may not have been the target after all.
Diamond was not leading the picture-perfect life that everyone had thought.